Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on The Flash Season 8. And this will be my trailer breakdown for The Flash Season 8 Episode 2, titled Armageddon Part 2. There are also some promo images to go over as well, which will be scattered throughout this video, and I'll be going over some other promo images towards the end of the video, because some of the things which I will talk about do link with the promo images, so I will essentially use those as a cross-reference. But for those unrelated parts, then I will go over those promo images towards the end of the video. But yeah, yesterday we had the season premiere for The Flash Season 8, and overall, I really enjoyed the episode. I thought it was great. For a premiere, it was a perfect setup for this crossover. They were able to tell this story in such a great way and just set everything up. We had a lot of badass moments with Barry, which was probably my favorite part of the episode. They were really able to highlight this speed boost from last season with his speed in a really satisfying way where he actually knows what he is doing. I really love that. Barry is much more confident. He does actually use a variety of his abilities, which was awesome. This is the Barry I would like to see throughout the season. This is the Barry I would like to see, because this is exactly how Barry should have been 4 seasons ago. But yeah, I'm glad that we have this version of Barry now, especially with this level up, so there are no more excuses for him to go back into getting knocked out by ordinary metas. Hopefully they do not do that after the crossover, because for the crossover I am sure that they're going to maintain this standard with Barry. What I am worried about is what they will do with him after the crossover, but hopefully he does still stay in this standard where Barry is actually much more confident and that he actually knows what he is doing, because I really loved that, and that was definitely one of the strongest parts of the episode. We'd also get to see every character have something to do, and we had some great character development and interactions between some characters, like Allegra, for example. That whole Central City Citizen media promotion was such a great way to develop her character. We also had some character development with like Kristen Kramer as well. We had some great scenes with pretty much every character in the episode, and I really enjoyed it. We obviously got Despero's arrival from 2031 to 2021 in order to kill the Flash due to the Flash going rogue in the future, and he literally causes a massacre in Central City, and we are following through with this storyline throughout these 5 episodes, now 4 remaining episodes. But yeah, this episode was a massive step up over The Flash Season 7, so I'm really looking forward to the other upcoming episodes as well. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to play the trailer on this video due to copyright issues. I know lots of content creators do play the trailers on their videos, but they do still get copyrighted for those who don't know, and I just don't want to take that risk. But for those who haven't seen the trailer, I will link in the description down below so you guys could obviously check it out. And before I break down the trailer, I will quickly go over the synopsis for the episode as well, because it does give us a better idea in regards to what we should expect for the episode. So the synopsis goes as follows. The Flash seeks help from Black Lightning. Despero warns the Flash that great tragedies will befall the speedster and cause him to lose his mind. Once that happens, Armageddon will begin. Determined to prove Despero wrong, Barry doubles down on proving his innocence, but a devastating revelation from Iris pushes him to the edge and sends him to seek counsel from Black Lightning. Okay, so quickly breaking down the synopsis. So Despero warns the Flash that great tragedies will befall the speedster and cause him to lose his mind. Once that happens, Armageddon will begin. Okay, so we do get a little bit of insight from that in the trailer, which is why I won't go too much in detail with this, but this is obviously related to the Flash becoming a bad guy in the future. He essentially causes chaos across Central City, which obviously establishes that whole Armageddon in the first place. The next part of the synopsis goes as followed. Determined to prove Despero wrong, Barry doubles down on proving his innocence, but a devastating revelation from Iris pushes him to the edge and sends him to seek counsel from Black Lightning. So yeah, as we saw from the end of last episode, Barry does doubt if he is actually capable of becoming that villain which he saw through Despero's vision, but he does deny it and still doesn't believe that he will actually have such a tragic downfall and become a killer. In regards to this revelation from Iris, I'm guessing that she figures out something related to Armageddon, which is what leads to Barry getting help from Black Lightning as he tries to get some advice from him. Okay, so the trailer kicks off with Barry speaking with Iris about Armageddon and what Barry will become in the future, which is obviously the fact that he will destroy the whole world. It will be interesting to see how Iris takes it, because in the synopsis it does mention that Iris finds a devastating revelation, which probably has something to do with the future in 2031, and maybe she finds out that Barry does actually become that villain, and maybe she finds out about the lives he took. This could be through Dion or someone else. Maybe Iris goes to Dion to deal with her time sickness stuff, and then Dion sends Iris to the future, because Iris would go like, "Hey Dion, I need a favor from you," and then Dion will do it. Maybe that's something which will happen, and then Iris will basically have some insight on Armageddon. Maybe, who knows? But we do also get these shots of Team Flash in which Allegra is pretty much on board with the others, with the fact that it is literally impossible for Barry to become such an evil person in 10 years' time. We do also see that Caitlin is scanning Barry's mind, which does actually lead me to believe that something does happen to Barry in this episode. Maybe he does convey a hint of insanity, which worries Team Flash. In the promo images, we do see Caitlin with a blaster pointing at Barry, and Allegra's prepared to get her ultraviolet blasts out as well. And this is all taking place in Barry's loft, which is obviously a mess. So something does happen, which does actually make Barry act quite off, and Team Flash are apprehensive, which is why Caitlin is scanning Barry's head, or brain might I say. We do then continue from the ending of episode 1, where we have Despero and Barry continuing their conversation. It does look like this will be the opening scene for episode 2, but Barry does actually ask Despero what will cause him to turn his back on the people whom he swore to protect, with Despero replying that Barry goes insane to a point where his mind will crack. With it, the world ends. So yeah, that is very interesting. I cannot wait to see what actually causes this madness. I did make a theory video just before I uploaded this video. I did say that this may not be Barry, but rather it is Ia Barthon who takes control over Barry's body, and he is just tearing down the Flash's legacy to get revenge due to how season 7 ended with Barry mocking his speed. So he's like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna get revenge on you, and then maybe down the road he takes over his body and just absolutely destroys his legacy. That could obviously be possible, but also from what we're seeing in this trailer and from what Despero is saying, it does look like Barry is slowly going insane himself. So that will be interesting to see what's going on as well. We do then get this brief shot of Barry going into panic mode, so it does seem like he will be going a bit insane in this episode. So it will be interesting, as I said, to see what causes that. But we then cut to the time vault, where we do actually see this very sinister background with the red lighting. It will be interesting to see what the purpose of that is, but this is Barry probably using Gideon to project his mind into the future so he could see more of Armageddon and what he really becomes. It could also be Barry asking Gideon about the future to actually cross-reference with what Despero says to see if it is actually true. There is this very interesting shot of someone being strapped onto a bed or something. It is hard to tell, but it seems like it's in some mental asylum or something like that. But Barry is actually standing opposite this person, so it's not actually Barry who's being tied up. It's someone else who Barry is talking to. But we then see Barry speeding in with the presence of 2 citizens, and Barry does accidentally go a bit crazy with his speed, where he is just able to stop before he crashes into them. But in this environment, we do know that this will be the scene where we get the origin story reveal for Despero. We do have a couple of promo images where we do get a better look at the scene between them as well. You guys could see them on the screen right now. I'm probably playing them right now. But from the effect of the trailer, with that going crazy effect, I don't really know how to explain it, but it does seem like we will actually be seeing some hints of Barry going crazy, and then maybe in the end of episode 2, he does actually go crazy and become that villain. Although I think it would be too early. It would make more sense if it's episode 3 where he actually becomes the villain, but I'm not entirely sure. We do also have this brief shot where it does seem like Barry is going after Despero and he speeds after him, which does lead into that conversation that they will have with Despero's origin story reveal and various other things like that. I do find it interesting that Black Lightning wasn't in the trailer, because he is the returning guest star for this episode, and he will be there briefly for episode 3 as well. Now we do also have some promo images to go over, and we have a couple of shots of Barry and Black Lightning in the Hall of Justice, and this is when Barry asks Black Lightning for advice and how he could essentially stop himself from going insane. This will lead into the shot we saw in the season 8 trailer where Jefferson says, "Where's the future?" with Barry responding, "Right here." So it does seem like Jefferson will be playing this mentor role to Barry, and he's the one who, like, pep talks him and just gives him advice. But yeah, I'm very interested to see these interactions between Jefferson and Barry. Grant Gustin is excited for us to see. Eric Wallace does talk about how great those scenes are, so I'm very excited to see it as well. We do also have a couple of West Allen shots, as well as this one shot of Barry doing some CSI work as he's talking to Kristen Kramer. So it's great that we're seeing more of Barry doing some CSI work as well. But this is pretty much it for the promo images, and it's pretty much it for the video as well. So if you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. So yeah, thanks for watching, and be sure to tell me in the comment section down below what you think will take place during this episode. I'm interested to see all of your thoughts as well. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.